especially speaking about Alexis Skyy, you have these women that don't have box discipline. You would think a woman that may have some options would be more careful with having unprotected relations with men that they're not really in relationships with. Those are just situationships, right? Maybe it's convenient at that moment. Why are you doing it unprotected? Why are you allowing, and excuse my words, these men to skeet up in you, multiple men to skeet up in you, and then you didn't even know who the father was at first? Paternity test had to be done. You wouldn't be in that situation if you would keep count of how many men that you are having relations with. But you wanted it to be the rapper. You didn't want it to be the car salesman. You didn't want it to be the car salesman, right? You wanted it to be the rapper. And that's why you ended up hoping that it would be Fetty Wops, but it wasn't. It was the other guy that you might have been a little ashamed of. But you got to ask yourself, how did you find yourself in not a relationship? How you find yourself sleeping with a guy unprotected that you're not even in a relationship with? How does it get to that point? Where is the box of discipline with these heifers? These heifers have no box discipline at all. And they say men are sloppy. No, I think if you're a woman and you're having unprotected sex with multiple men at the same time, that's not that's you being sloppy. See you, David. Make sure y'all like the stream, man. Y'all out here just being sloppy. And then you claim that men are slur shaming you. No, men are not slur shaming you. Men are being realistic with you. You're out here having children and you didn't even know who the father was. You didn't even know who the father was. You put yourself in that situation. Why? Why? And I just think that, man, these women of today have no clue. How can you sit here and get mad at a guy that you allow to sleep with you unprotected? You have a kid by him. What, you expect for him to just come in and play daddy to your child? I guess that's not happening because he wants nothing to do with you. Nothing. And a lot of you women are taking a lot of L's these days. I don't care how attractive you think you are. You are susceptible to being alone for a long time, to being single for a long time. And who are you going to blame then? A lot of y'all like to blame everybody else for why you're constantly single and you don't have anybody. It's always somebody else's fault, man. It's always somebody else's fault. It's never you looking in the mirror and saying, what can I change? What can I fix? How can I get myself out of this? How can I be a better woman? No, it's you make all these mistakes and you want to blame everybody else later. Then you're on, social media talking about you want a good man. You want a good man now? Or a man? Shouldn't you have wanted that before? Why do y'all wait till y'all have children by men that don't want those kids? Before you come to this epiphany, before you realize, you know what, maybe I should have, hung in there. Maybe I should have, not given in. Let fall for all these dreams that were being sold to me. But a lot of these women end up doing that, man. And then they get mad at us for bringing this stuff to light. Really, just showcasing the ignorance of these heifers, man. It's a lot of ignorance in them. Hold on, let me see. Okay. So let me pull up the article here. This is typical. I'm upset. So let me go ahead and blame somebody, because you see this every day, right? You see these single mothers, right? They love to blame everybody else for why they're single mothers. It's everybody else's fault. That a man that you were having relations with him and this guy and probably another guy, because you know it ain't, women don't just deal with one man or two men. You know, they're dealing with three men,
The
4
mainstream
men.
media pretty much hypnotized women into thinking that they DOMT need to be responsible for their own decisions.
Appreciate that, Zeke. Let's get into this article from the Atlanta Black Star. So Alexis Skyy is having another online spat with Brandon Medford, the father of her child. Skyy took to Instagram on the morning of September 14th to call out Medford for not spending more time with their 3-year-old daughter. Was it Alea Grace Maxwell? She doesn't even have his last name. Her lengthy, now deleted message, which was just a black screen with words, says, "I pray God puts the right man in my life and for a good man to be a father figure to my daughter. I've been so calm and quiet, but enough is enough. You can't force a man to love a child, yet his child." See, this is why, shout out to Steve Swanson for becoming a member. This is why you have to actually know, well, I will say this. You should not be having unprotected relations with a guy that you probably don't even know that well and that you don't plan on being in a long-term relationship with. Because what if you have a child? What if a child comes out of it, you know? What if a child comes out of it? What are you going to do then? What are you going to do then, Alexis Skyy? Now you're stuck with somebody because of the child that you realize don't want to be with you. Now she wants God to bring a good man into her life. When are y'all going to stop using God as a crutch? When are y'all going to stop doing that? This is what I'm talking about. God is not going to bring you anything until you bring yourself closer to the truth and to common sense and to understanding that you cannot be sloppy with your box. You have to have box discipline, and a lot of these women don't have that. But they want to blame the men for not wanting to be in the child's life. Well, wait a minute. Did you actually think that this guy wanted to be a father? He just wanted to smash. This guy wanted to smash. That's all it was. He just wanted an opportunity to hit that. And that's what a lot of women got to understand. A lot of y'all are getting involved with men that just want to smash. That's all they want to do. They just want to smash. They don't want a relationship. This dude just wanted to hit it. Like most of the dudes that she deals with. That's why she's constantly single and she's looking for God to bring a man back into her life. Well, you got to think about that before you go out here once again and you're having raw, unprotected relations with men you probably barely know. Let's see. Sharing some of the blame, Skyy admitted that she has made some mistakes and can own up to that, but says her daughter deserves more. She continued, "My daughter is pure and innocent. She doesn't deserve looking out of the window asking daddy, come get me." Now that's sad. That's sad, but that's the reality. This is the situation these women put their children in. They put their children in these situations. They put their children in a situation where they're wondering, when is daddy going to come? When is daddy going to come? Because you out here in the streets. This is why I tell y'all, some of y'all don't need to be in the streets if y'all are out here having unprotected relations.
Baby rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing.
Right, Pop Smoke Goes, appreciate that. She's out here having unprotected relations with this guy, right? A baby is born. She thought it was somebody else's, but that ended up being his. Now you're saying your daughter is staring outside the window, wanting to know when daddy's going to come. See, this is the situation you put your children into. You are responsible for who sleeps with you. We can blame the fathers all we want to, but you gave him the go-ahead to have unprotected relations with you. You gave him the go-ahead. You're putting your children in that situation. How about if you're going to have children with a man, it be a man that actually wants to have children with you. But you didn't even know who the father was at first. That's the problem. That's what happens when you out here clutching Dizzick after Dizzick, 2 at a time, 3 at a time, because you're too busy running the streets, being free, right? Living your life. And then you wound up with a baby. And there are other females following in those same footsteps. You see it. Look at Chloe Bailey. Wouldn't surprise me if she follows in the footsteps. I mean, they just want to be single mothers. You could just tell some of these women just want to be single mothers just by how they act and how they want to be so much in the streets. They want to deal with all these rappers, right? Daddy called me back, and Daddy is on IG flexing to the world like he is just this man of God living the right way. When you're not missed her birthday, never calls. When we tell her they put her instead of him. She's in the hospital, seeing other kids. What are you embarrassed of her? She didn't ask to go through the pain she went through. God will remove it all from you. Your kids come first. Why are they playing with God? Why do y'all be out here being, listen, man, if you are a religious person, you know, everybody's not going to live their life a certain way. Everybody's not going to be the same, right? Everybody's not going to be the same. Everybody's not going to live their life the same way. But you have to know better that you're going to put yourself in a situation where you are susceptible to ruining your life by making bad choices over and over. Look at the men that Alexis Skyy has been with. She does not know a good man when she sees one, or when she may be around one. She's talking about his religion, and she's trying to use his religion against him. And the thing, listen, if you're gonna be someone who's spiritual, who's religious, and you live your life that way, right? People are gonna make mistakes. People are not gonna be perfect, but you do have to live your life by following, not all the time, but what you speak. If you're a guy that speaks against certain behaviors, should you be engaging in those behaviors? I just think that we don't know his side. We don't know what she done said to this guy. We don't know what she's done to this guy. She done probably asked this man for money. He probably done gave it to her, and he might have just stopped giving her that money. Now she's using the child against him. We don't know. Okay? I just don't like when they like to bring religion into it and use people's faith against them. You know, just because you're mad at the baby's father for whatever reason, even though you basically chose him. I mean, we can talk about if he's a bad father or not, but you chose to be in a relationship with him. A short-term, quickie relationship. Well, I wouldn't even call it a relationship. It was just a screw. That's what it was. It wasn't a relationship. I take that back. It was a screw. That's basically what it was. And now she's not happy because he doesn't want to be there. Those are choices that you made.